Today I want to try something different. A lot of people I work with in commercial real estate, especially new agents, don't know how to do cold calls. You see, the idea of a cold call is not to force something, but it's to listen to your potential client, understand their needs, and see if you can give them any type of tools or data, but most importantly, add value. So today I want to role play with Chat GPT about how we can do cold calls and practice your skills because Chat GPT is smart enough now to engage with you. So let's take a look and see how it works. So first I'm going to go to Chat GPT here, and I'm going to input a prompt. And let me share my screen. Great. So please give me the most common commercial real estate objections I would hear during a cold call with a seasoned property owner. So we start with the prompt and get some ideas, right? And these are all extremely common. All of us have heard these, a bunch of times. Great. So before it tells us what the answers are, I want you to pick an objection. Do not tell me. And I want to role play with you. I am an agent calling you with intentions to set an appointment to discuss the market and your portfolio. Make it difficult. Let's go back and forth. Go. Hey, this is Justin with Marcus and Miller Chap. I was trying to reach John. Is John available?
This is John. What can I do for you, Justin?
John, again, great connecting with you. Again, my name is Justin with Marcus and Miller Chap here in Richmond. I'm a multi-family advisor here in town, and I was connecting today to share some recent closings that are not far from your property. I thought it would be worth speaking about, so you can share what trends we're seeing as well as what your neighbors are doing to pivot going into a new year. How are you pivoting in 2025?
Justin, I appreciate the call, but honestly, I've been in this business for decades. I've seen the trends come and go, and I don't really need outside advice on how to handle my properties. What's the real reason you're calling?
Yeah, listen, I understand, you're definitely an experienced guy. Your portfolio reflects that. But I was wondering, how do you, stay ahead of the market? Like, what trends are you looking at so you know how to pivot each year with your properties?
Look, Justin, the way I see it, the market doesn't change overnight. I've got solid tenants and long-term leases in place. I don't need to chase every new trend to stay ahead. My strategy works, so I don't see a reason to pivot.
That's good. I'm a fan of the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? And I think a lot of guys who have experience like you do, are very set and disciplined, which is how you got there. But we are seeing, different trends that are causing also seasoned investors start to really pivot. I think the market doesn't change overnight, but we are seeing trends implement faster. For example, a lot of our clients are experiencing rapidly rising insurance rates that are doubling or tripling. And that does kind of happen overnight. Taxes in certain markets, we're seeing 20% increase. So those situations do require a faster approach. So how are you pivoting and strategizing around these trends that are happening literally overnight these days?
I hear you, Justin, but I've been through cycles before. Insurance hikes, tax increases, you name it. It's part of the game. I've built in buffers and contingencies to handle those shifts. Honestly, I don't see the need to discuss it further unless you've got something truly new or valuable to bring to the table.
That's great. I think with the goal here is to add value. I'm not looking to change you or get you to buy or sell. You've been in this business longer than me. We do speak to many owners and many of your neighbors. I think what's important is understanding the buffers and the contingencies as we're seeing just things change at a faster pace. Now, when you mentioned contingencies, what are things that you've implemented recently to kind of account for the changing market?
Well, I've been keeping reserves higher than usual and renegotiating vendor contracts where I can. I'm also focusing on tenant retention to avoid turnover costs. Beyond that, I haven't had to make any major changes. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and my approach has held steady through plenty of ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm understanding you correctly, I mean, it sounds like you are modifying as the market. We are seeing the cost of labor increase for renovations. We are seeing the overall cost and operations of being an owner change. So I'm happy that you're able to negotiate. When you're negotiating those contracts and with third parties, are you getting similar pushback on rates and terms as other people are?
Absolutely, Justin. There's always pushback.
Understood. Well, here's my thoughts. I think that, you know, it would be worthwhile chatting and going through it. Oh, keep going. Yes, I mean, that's right. There always is pushback, and it sounds like you built a very solid foundation. Now, if you were open to, diving deeper, have you thought about growing your portfolio this year, or what's your portfolio strategy going into the new year?
Growing my portfolio isn't really on the table right now, Justin. I'm focused on maximizing what I already have. The market's uncertain, and I'd rather strengthen my current assets than take on new ones. That's been my strategy, and it's working just fine.
Great. Well, I think it could be worthwhile to take a snapshot here. When we speak with owners who have had properties for a long time, I'm guessing unless you've refinanced recently, there's the difference between convenience and ease of operations versus, a mortgage payment that is skyrocketing these days, and would love to at least provide you with a snapshot of where we see some hitting gaps could be. Do you have anyone else that you're working with now, whether it's a CPA or an agent that's providing you kind of a third party look at how your property's performing?
I've got a solid team in place, my CPA, attorney, and a property manager I trust. They keep me informed, and I don't feel the need for an outside perspective right now. Like I said, Justin, I've been doing this a while, and I've got a system that works. Why should I consider adding another voice to the mix?
Yeah, I think adding a voice, an advisor is critical. When you're looking at your CPA, they're making sure your taxes and your income is legal, so the IRS is not coming after you. You have a property manager. Their goal is to make sure operations are steady, sharing the highs and lows of the operations of your property month to month. But where brokers come in, most of my business is not transacting. Most of my business is helping buyers and sellers and just clients maximize their revenue based off market data, market knowledge. So whereas your CPA is making sure you don't go to jail here, my job is to make sure that you're maximizing the equity in your property as you're got in this business, I'm guessing, to make money. And when you don't have a broker or someone whose job is to make sure there's efficiencies across the board, I can see how there could be some hitting gaps or opportunities where you're just not maximizing your time, especially being in this for so long. That's why I would suggest we could do a snapshot. The property is completely free and here to help you. And at the end of the day, you don't need it or want it. You can, move on. But most of our clients find that at least a once a year snapshot, similar to an appraisal, um, it can be helpful for a lot of people. What are your thoughts on that?
You make a fair point, Justin, and I can see how a different perspective might uncover something my team hasn't focused on. That said, I'm not really looking to dive into anything unless it's truly worth my time. If we did this snapshot, what exactly would you be providing, and how would it help me beyond what I already know?
Great. So the snapshot is meant to be an exercise in a deep dive. So we look at your current rent roll and understand where your tenants are at versus where the market rents. Usually we see owners who have had properties for a long time. The rents are usually below market. Some owners prioritize good tenants who have been there, who don't bother anyone and prefer to keep rents low. Others prefer to be right where the market's at. Other part is sales comparables. Now, while it doesn't sound like selling is where you're looking to be. Understanding what deals are trading for down the street is always important. So you understand how your property is stacking up, mainly from an equity perspective in the event that you would want to exit or at the very least refinance when rates are more feasible. And lastly, it's more of a whole holistic market information, right? We are extremely active. We're chatting with a lot of owners and your neighbors, and at a point now where more data is not hurting. It's just how we are interpreting data and providing it to our clients. And would love to share this with you. The process from you is really straightforward. And outside of a rent roll, we just need a T12, which shows us our water bills or electric bills, things your CPA is already preparing for you. And at the end of the day, you have this analysis that's extremely detailed and understanding of where your property is at. Are you paying too much or are you paying just right for your expenses? And how at the end of the day, you could be making more money. How's that sound?
I'll admit, Justin, that does sound pretty comprehensive. I'm always open to data that could help me understand my position better. But I'm not sure I'm comfortable sharing my rent roll and T12 without knowing what kind of commitment this involves. What's the catch?
Yeah, there's no catch here. You know, we are open to signing an NDA that's completely confidential between you and my team. You know, the idea is that I know that most owners are not in a place to sell and don't have to sell. You know, interest rates last few years are really great. It may not be feasible, but I know at the end of the day that having data, people giving information in a snapshot could potentially help you now or in the future, and we do this yearly for a lot of our clients currently. So there's no catch. It's just a way to provide you with a free update on your property, and you can use it or not use it. But a lot of people we work with do find value in this, and we found a lot of hidden gaps and inefficiencies across the board where people are changing and seeing good results from it.
All right, Justin, I can appreciate that approach. Let me think about it. I'm not committing to anything just yet, but if I decide to move forward, I'll need that NDA in place before we proceed. You can send me some details about what you'd need from me, and I'll take a look. Fair?
Yeah, I'd happily be able to send you some details to your email. And, you know, if I may ask specifically, at this point, after what we discussed, is there anything that I left out that you need to reconsider or focus on so I can be specific in my email to you?
Um, I think you covered most of the bases, Justin. My main concern is making sure the data you provide is actionable and tailored to my property, not just general market trends. If you can show me something specific and relevant, I'd be more inclined to take a closer look. Include that in your email, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, let's do that. In this email, I'll be sending you some information about who we are and our track record, so you know that Justin is a real broker here in town. And I think you bring up a great point. You know, the idea of doing this analysis and the snapshot is tailored to your property. So the idea is to look at your rent roll and your financials and give you a really detailed analysis of your property versus the market. I think anyone can get some basic information about the entire market. I can send that to you as well. But as you know, to the point here is we're not looking to give you surface level. We want to go deeper and say how you can be maximizing your efficiencies. So I'll send this email. Today is Monday. I love to send this email this afternoon. And why don't we chat tomorrow about possible next steps?
That sounds reasonable, Justin. I'll keep an eye out for your email and we can touch base tomorrow. Make sure the details are clear and specific, and I'll be happy to have a follow up conversation. Looking forward to it.
Great. And I'll send this email here tomorrow. I've got my calendar here tomorrow. I'll be free at 2:30. So if you can give me a call back around 2:30 tomorrow, that would be great. And looking forward to chatting. Is 2:30 a good time for you?
2:30 works for me, Justin. I'll make sure to have some time set aside. Looking forward to seeing what you send over and having that conversation. Talk then.
Great. Have a good day. Take care. All right. So that was a tough one. ChatGPT gave me a good curveball this morning. We come across owners who don't want to sell, who are seasoned and know what they like and it's been performing well. So I think as new agents, even senior agents, just understanding where they're at and meeting them where they're at and providing value to even nudge them and help them go one step further. All the times people have teams in place where they don't have a broker. And, while we make money on selling deals, at the end of the day, our goal is to provide value. And having spoken with many owners and investors in the area, the goal is simply to give you data. And if you think that data is great, you'll give us a call if you want to pivot or exit or buy something else. So thanks for watching. Comment below what you think my next role play session could be like, and hope you find value in this. Thanks for watching.